Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to get into a project on my 9th gen 15 FB6 Si, so let's get into it now. Alright guys, so as you can tell by the title, this project is in reference to air ride on a 9th gen Civic. So on this particular car, this is a 15 Si. This has Airlift 3P. Alright, it was fully installed by me. As you can see, we have our airlift strut, our airlift bag, and this car has been on air ride for almost 5 years, and the air ride has about 15,000 miles on it. This car is not dailied. It's probably been off the road for about 3, almost 4 years now. It's not regularly driven at all. It's probably, once every other weekend type deal. So this car, isn't frequently driven. So this is something I'm experiencing after 15,000 miles on air ride, and all that time I've had absolutely really no problems with the air ride whatsoever. But the other day I took it to a friend of mine who works at Honda, and he happily aligned the car for me. Shout out to him. And when we had the car up on the lift, we noticed something that I haven't even bothered checking in a while because I don't drive the car. So let's take a look and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. And there it is, guys. That light might not be helping. Sometimes it's less helpful than helpful, but yeah, that crack right there, yeah, the bag is starting to crack from all the heat from the exhaust right here. Now this is a problem on the 9th gens. I've heard of other people having this issue with, especially when you got a big muffler. This is the aftermarket Axleback engine, so this is slightly thicker than the stock exhaust, but especially if you got a big, catback or something like that, it's probably damn near touching the bag. So what we're gonna do is approach this to try to give it a little more time, hopefully, and prolong this a little bit just so we don't have to get a new bag ASAP. So this does have the original heat wrap on here from Airlift. Now this is the exact heat wrap that they provide with their kits. This is actually the 3rd wrap that I've done, because if you notice right here, it starts to rip by the bag. So it's not even really protecting it right there. So this one its time has come. So what I wanted to do today is just make you guys aware, if you're looking to bag your 9th gen, or if your 9th gen is bagged, this is something you want to definitely monitor and keep an eye on. So I just wanted to bring attention to this, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to try to prolong this bag, help it out, and maybe, buy some more time. So we're going to go ahead and get into this now, guys, and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, so the first thing you notice, obviously, it's on jack stands, so we have the car in the air. I have let all the air out of this bag. So typically, when you jack your car up, I jack it up at ride height. I've just let air out of this corner, and the reason I did that is because we are going to spin this thing away from that damage. All right, now you can see the damage is right here. It was right here next to the exhaust. So I'm just giving a little turn here just to try to get that thing away where it's been burnt. All right, so you do have to take the air out to do this. So make sure you don't have any air in your bag when you're trying to spin this thing and rotate it away. So we got that away, from the exhaust. So we got another spot, that's fresh here next to it. So that should help us as far as getting this area that's currently damaged away from the heat. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to re-wrap this exhaust, and I'm going to do it with a better heat wrap than what Airlift provides. So this isn't the best, this isn't the worst, nothing against Airlift. We're just going to put some more heat wrap on here, and we're going to probably double up a little bit to really get this tight and on point. So we're going to go ahead, remove this old heat wrap, and then we're going to put the new one on, and hopefully that'll give us a little bit more protection up against this bag, just for heat purposes, and hopefully it'll buy us some more time and, make this a little bit better for the bag itself up against this tight spot with the muffler. So let's go ahead, we're going to work on getting this thing off, and then we'll put the new heat wrap on, guys. guys, and there you go. See where this thing is ripping at that spot up against the bag with heat? No bueno. Look at that, almost completely in half. All right, there we go, guys. We have the wrap completely off. Some people even would suggest bagging the muffler in some. I really don't want to do that, just to be honest with you. I'm not trying to get something there and bang this thing around, but you can smash this in a little bit just to give yourself a little bit better clearance up against that bag, but we're not going to get into all that. So we got this all off. I'm going to give it a nice little wipe down with a Lysol wipe just to give it a clean surface, and then we're going to apply some new wrap. Hey guys, I'm just wiping this thing down, cleaning the surface of it up. Don't need to go too crazy. And I'm actually going to wipe the bag because I do plan on putting some rubber restorer and protector on here to try to keep this thing in best condition that we can. So I'm essentially just wiping everything down in here just to give it a nice clean surface here. So go ahead and finish this up, guys, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so here is our new heat wrap. It's nothing special. I got it from Amazon, although already it does look to be a better quality than the stuff that we originally used from Airlift. It comes with a good amount of nice little wire clamps here, and this is a 50-foot roll, so I'll leave a link in the description. And the reviews on this aren't too bad. It seemed to have, 4.5 stars, pretty good reviews, so I figured we'd give her a shot. So let's go ahead and actually check this stuff out here. Go ahead and open it up. All right, so here it is. It looks pretty nice, feels good. About the same size there, as you can see. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get this thing wrapped on the exhaust, and hopefully we can get this double layer to get a nice even layer across the whole muffler next to that bag to really give us a nice protection layer. So let's go ahead and start wrapping this thing on. All right, guys, so I'm just going to start right here where this muffler ends, and I'm just going to try to go over the first one completely, get it nice and tight. I'm hoping I can get this as clean as I did on that last wrap, because if I say so myself, it was pretty clean and pretty tight. So just shooting for that same type of wrap quality that I had on that last one. So got this thing started off here, as you can see, hopefully. And from here, I'm just pretty much going to go over each one about halfway. So each, layer, we're just going to do half over the last one, which is typically what you want to do when you're heat wrapping anything. So let's go ahead and get this thing tight, and hopefully get this thing nice and clean, guys. All right, so that took way longer than I wanted it to. Got this thing wrapped up though, as you can see. I ended up using the Airlift hose clamps that came with their heat wrap, just because those wire tie style clamps, they suck. They weren't tight at all, and they don't hold anything securely. So went back to the hose clamps, but this thing is pretty thick and pretty wrapped tight, doubled up in here. And as you know, we didn't move where the crack is, so we got a fresh spot over here. So really all I'm going to do now is put a nice coat of rubberized protected on this, just to kind of treat it, condition it and give it a nice coating, just to help keep this rubber in the best shape that we can. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right, and there we have it. The bag is conditioned, got a whole bunch of rubber treatment on there, so hopefully that'll help prolong that a bit more. You can see, I'll zoom in on that crack again. Like I said, just be aware of that, that is very prone to happening. So make sure you're keeping an eye on this. Make sure your heat wrap isn't coming unraveled, isn't ripping, isn't tearing, because that's just going to make it easier for this to get burned. So, but there we have it, guys. I want to keep an eye on this and see how it holds up, and hopefully we'll just stay in the condition it's in and won't get any worse. So, all right, guys, so we're all wrapped up here. Just a quick little, insight on having bags on the 9th gen, and you know, just something to look out for. So I hope this helped. Keep an eye out for more bag content. There is other bag content, of course, on the channel, so make sure you check that out. And until next time, guys.